trying to stop us.
Do not stop us. We have powers.
Okay, welcome everybody to the 1111 Spiritual Transit Podcast. My name is Jackie, all the way from Canada, and the master of shadows himself, Jay, under a beautiful tree, all the way from Australia. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. It's really weird. I went live before, and this guy from Nigeria, I can't remember his name, lovely bloke. I think I must have accidentally pressed something that I was doing. I've been doing this regularly. It's a crazy time. But how are you? You're looking great as usual.
I am lovely. Thank you very much.
So,
how's the week? How's the energy?
Well, I'm grounding myself, see?
I like it. We don't have snow, but the ground is too cold to walk barefoot.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I was just talking before when I had my new friend from Nigeria on, randomly on the cast. I have to laugh at something.
Morning, Paul.
Hello, Rand. Oh, it was fantastic. But, yeah, we were just talking about the effect of yourself, the effect of being a particular person. I mean, my big one here is this week is being a punching bag. Now, what I mean by that is people unload on you for whatever reason because you allow them. And this is where the boundaries come in. This is more where the Master of Shadows comes out, and you understand your awareness of where that feeling has come. So, just to give you a bit of an understanding, people who just love to say what they want to say to you because you haven't got any real boundaries, because you know that they can do that. It's not really a bullying tactic or anything. It's just that it's like you're the person that they unload on. And they don't realise their behaviour. Yeah, fair enough. But there comes a time in life where you've got to basically put themselves, listen, had enough of your crap. All right. And some of the crap that comes out of your mouth, mate, if I said that, my God, I mean, I'd be badgered and, you'd be badgered and it's bad for your own soul. But I think what we have to understand is having the awareness of how to deal with different situations like that. If that makes any silly sense in a way. I'll put it to you this way, Jack, before you jump in. I'm the Cancer. I'm Cancer in the zodiac, which is the mother, which is the nurturer, which is the looking after of everyone else. But it comes a time in your life where you got your journey, where you got to learn your lessons. What do you think about that?
100%. And I'm kind of feeling it very well as well, because as a mother and also the support system for a lot of my family and friends, it does. The way I give advice is a lot different now too. I really look at situations from the entire perspective. So some of the people in my life who used to benefit from me being solely on their side now has me branching out their thoughts to view the other person's side of things. And that can lead them to believe that I'm not on their side or I'm not being supportive, when truthfully I'm really trying to show them their own accountability within the situation, and they don't like it. And a lot of people are kind of taken back by that, and they're really not reciprocating my caring. Like, they don't see that I'm trying to do it for their own good, and they're just not very nice about it. And I don't care anymore. That's how I give advice.
Yeah, well, I'm taking your advice, but the thing is with what we do, excuse me guys, just on it, this is great, just having the tree here and actually grounding yourself. And it's amazing, just quickly, just off topic in a way, where grounding yourself here has been amazing. So but just to go back what we're saying, I've had situations where people just unloaded because they can, and they go, oh, sorry, I was drunk, or you're a narcissist, or you're just a butthead. I'll use those words, I won't use any other words. But they don't take accountability, and then you wonder, okay, I'll give it to you this way, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we try to be stoic, we try to practice samadhi, and all those things where we don't let anything affect us, but we're human beings. And mate, I'll tell you what, you go and poke a bear, what are they going to do? There's so much some people can take. And it gets to a point, ladies and gentlemen, where you have to actually say something and say, listen, that's enough. Take some responsibility for your own life, mate. Why are you doing that? Why are you constantly, and there's a couple of people in my life that I have to deal with that, and I'm just sitting there going, mate, if you're not happy, and you're not happy, you don't. You're not, well, number one, you unload, right? That's number one, okay? Number two, so I've got trigger finger. They don't apologise for it, but then they go, oh, everything's all right. Oh, you just take what I get, take what you want. Just take the hit, and then, oh, yeah, move on to the next one. Oh, so how are you feeling? Not too good after not too good after I didn't allowed you to fucking belt me, excuse the language, allow you to take a shot. But I didn't respond because I'm trying to keep the peace in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm really at a point in my journey where I am done trying to convince people to show up for themselves. So as people continue to make choices and they continue to stay in these negative life cycles, that is a choice and you can choose to do that. And when you are ready to put the effort and commitment into the change you want to see in your life, that's the time that I'm ready and open and willing and able to communicate with you on that level. Come talk to me, I'm there. But until you're there, I am not going to try to convince you to want better for yourself. That has to come from within. I finally realized that I don't have to be that, but people want you to do that. They want you to keep showing up and trying to convince them, even though they're not making any real changes in their life. And I don't have space for that anymore. I used to, for everybody I know, but I don't anymore. If you show up and you show me you have the effort to show up, I'm there 1,000%. But until you do, I'm not. And I think that's the problem with people is now they assumed I'm just going to be there no matter what. And it's not true. I am there to the level of support that I'm giving back and no more unless you're there willing and able to show up for yourself.
It's a case of, look, I think two things I've learned. No, I'm far from perfect. I've got a very close friend of mine. Mate, he's funny. Oh God, he's funny when he gets on the. He keeps his same. He gets on the grog a little bit. Has a good night, but he still keeps his humility and his humbleness through his. He just loves to have a chat. But the way his perspective is amazing. And there's certain things where he actually looks at the whole thing. I think it's Capricorn. I think he's a Capricorn. Is he? Yeah. Okay. Capricorn. They're very.
Yep.
They're very good with regards to sitting back and looking at the whole picture and understanding that. Whereas with the Cancer, you can see that, but you're very emotionally invested. Where people reckon they can have a dig at you, but that's where the boundaries come up. But I mean, this is what you say to people.
Well, it's true, and it's what's sad, Jay, I think, is that we allowed people. We didn't know ourselves well enough to know that we needed those type of boundaries to protect ourselves. So people were getting away of the benefit, the fact that you're this caring, amazing guy, and they took advantage of it, but we allowed them to do so. And it's a little bit sad, and I've had to forgive myself on that a lot too. And I think you just need to forgive yourself for not knowing you deserved better before. But you sure as hell know you deserve better now.
This is the thing, when you're actually taking, there's so much you can take. There's two things. You go, yes, you understand that they've got their own journey and you accept them for that, but they've got to accept their behavior as well. And you have to have a perspective, because I know as a Cancer you can go, or as anybody, you could, what's the first thing when someone hits you? What are you going to do first? Hit back. That's a natural reaction. You get hurt, you get hit back. But when it comes to words and all that, what they're talking about, it's a case of looking at it and saying, okay, that's what they're doing. Is there a greater purpose here? That's the kind of person there are. Do you want them in your life? And then it's like okay, it's going to sound like an ex-partner. That's how I've described these people, ex-partners. Like
they kind of are. Partners are relationships in any sense, right? You have relationships with men, women, friends, colleagues.
Clickbait. Sorry, I was saying clickbait. Men or women. I'm equal. Mate, there's whinging men as whinging men, whinging women, everything. It doesn't matter if they're in your life and they're giving you grief. Doesn't matter.
What kind of street are you on where there's all this traffic?
There's equality for you, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't matter what sex you are. If you're a whinger or a whiner and you do bad by people or whatever you're doing, that's the way it is. There's equality right there. Anyway.
Funny. Anyways, back to that. But yeah, I really noticed that that's just how I feel now. And I now know what it needs or what it takes to be a supportive person in my life. And I will voice that to you because I know what I need from my friends and my relationships. And if you can't reciprocate that back at the level that I requested, then we have a little bit of a problem because I'm no longer accepting less than I deserve. So if
Keyword there.
that is a challenge for you in some way or makes you feel bad about yourself, I don't feel guilty about that. I just accepted a lot less than I deserve for way too long, and I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, it's a good
And
thing.
I'm okay with it.
Sorry, keep going. Sorry, it's a little bit bad line. Sorry.
No, I'm okay with it. I'm like you. I'm a Pisces. I've been a people pleaser my whole life, and I wanted everybody to like me, and I wanted to be everybody's best friend, and I could have 1,000 people who like me, but I focus on the one person who doesn't, and I'm not that person anymore. Like there was a person who was like that, but once you go and you go through your shadow and you work through all of those challenges, once you label everything and the reason why you are the way you are, those things tend to just dissipate really fast, and you can now step out of that shell and create the version of yourself that you believe that you are. Nobody says you can't. Who's going to tell me I can't change or I have to fit in their box?
And that's the thing with guys. What you got a couple of things that you look at when you become aware of what's going on. You become aware of it. You have an awareness of yourself. Then you have aware of people actually. You have an aware. Then you work within your shadow, which we're talking about where the subconscious mind was programmed between the ages of 0 and 7. Your experiences, understanding and connecting those experiences to what's happening now, and you have to sort of travel back. You don't realize what triggered it, but you understand the emotion. Then there's things like grounding, which I'm doing now. I already feel better that I've grounded, and I'm connecting with my best friend here. It's always nice to be in an energy that you feel comfortable in, as well. When you're in that hyphen position. I mean, I have been like that for a fair few weeks. Okay, there's been a few things that have happened, but I can see that I've let them get to me. There's been changes. 11/11 portal we're going through. We're ending things in a lot of way where we're trying to get rid of things within our bodies, within our spirits, so we can move on to the next life, which is after 2024.
And I believe it. I am leaving. I have brought awareness to my entire trauma history. I spent this entire year going through and digging through every part of who I am and what makes me who I am, and I am leaving it all in 2023. I gained the awareness, and now I can step out of that and step into my purpose. I'm going to release control and just step forward without needing to feel control, which is that's the big one. And I know it's going to be like a symbolic New Year's this year. I'm trying to really put a lot of intention into starting this new year exactly in the right mindset with the right people. And that's what I like to hope that other people are trying to do too. Like, it really does signify the completion of something, even if it is just 1 year, but we can really reshape our lives for ourselves. And that's what 2024 is for me.
I want to do a big shout out to you now, because I love shouting people out, because that's what I do. Pro Wrestling 101.
Me.
Well, shout out to you. Have a look at my videos. I go,
okay.
Oh,
I'm not good at receiving acclamations. So let's, okay.
Always. Every time you go watch my videos, every time I mention Bret Hart, hat. There you go, Bret. There's one for you. Always mention, but tell us. We're doing these podcasts now. We're doing our chats our weekly chats. We want to get more into the deeper side of ourselves, our spiritual growth, which we're going to do very much next year. This has been a great 26 episodes. Yeah, that is. You've got. Do you? Yeah, exactly what I say. How do you feel where you're at now that you're giving yourself a public voice? You've met myself, and a big shout out to your co-host on your other podcast, Elizabeth. I'll give her a shout.
Hey, Elizabeth.
So she'll.
Yes, well.
Tell us where
exactly there is a new. Truthfully, because the podcast with Elizabeth was something we planned almost 2 years ago. We started talking about it. We knew what we wanted to do, and we just there was a lot of work still to do to be able to speak on the topics that we want to talk about in
Yeah.
a real way. And there was a lot of understanding that I had to go through this year in order to be able to come out and talk about controversial topics around sex, drugs, and spirituality, which happens to be the beautiful name of the new podcast, which is launching on Spotify on December 28th. And it really, honestly, Jay, as soon as we started recording, I had even 1,000 new perspective changes on what I thought was already healed. So it is another continual process of healing. It's taken me deeper into those emotions. It's really opened up a lot of new awarenesses, which has now allowed me to, like I said, step into 2024 in a really clean karmic slate. I kind of feel like I've labeled every karmic cycle that I've been through, and this is kind of the kickoff to that, the beginning of that podcast. So check it out, guys. Go to my social media. It's everywhere on my social media, so you can't miss it. But it does launch on December 28th. But it will usually launch each Saturday at 11 p.m. So just keep that in mind. And thank you, Jay, for allowing me the opportunity to self-promote a little bit.
Absolutely. So that's what we're all about. So it's really funny for me, getting into this space, because you live in living in two worlds in some ways. When I'm in this space with Jackie and Diana and Cortez, and especially Jackie, where we get on really, really well, obviously, there's a sense of calm that comes upon you. I've found that. And one of my best friends who lives in Melbourne, up the road, about a couple of hours away, you get to a point of calmness because I think people understand you, and you're sort of it's like you're going through two worlds. You have to sort of go, I have to go home and recharge or whatever it may be, then come back on this world and deal with what you got to deal with. And I'll give you a top topic. I'll give you a bit of a insight that you might want to think about. Being a leader, I'm sort of flipping between things because this is all what's been happening the last week. I've had to question myself being a leader. What really embraces a real leader? Okay, and it's not just all the great stuff. It's what happens underneath that people don't see. And there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of coordination, a lot of putting up with people's garbage, that they haven't worked out, and having the awareness as being a leader, having the awareness that everyone has their own journey. But there's also, as I said to you, the big thing for me today is getting them to have the awareness of what they're doing. They do what they want with it, that's fine. And they've got their journey, they've got their shadow and all that, right? But you can't keep poking the bear without turning around and going, hey, mate, seriously. That's
I
enough.
get it.
That's enough.
Yep.
And giving them awareness.
I tried to do it.
Yeah, sorry, keep
going. I try
going.
to do it very gently at first, but yeah, there are some people that do not get the hint, and yeah, at some point you have to.
I think it's a respect
be a
thing
little
too,
bit
Jack.
more.
I really believe it's a respect thing. I sometimes try not to take it personally, but I look and I go, if you really respected me for a point of view, don't you see what you're doing? Do you say this to other people? Do you do this with other people? You know what I mean?
No.
I have to question and I go.
It is, and so they need a dose of hard reality. And good for you for standing up for yourself and showing.
I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it.
Oh, well, good for you when you do.
Well, that's right.
No,
I haven't done it.
true.
The only reason I'll tell you why. It's not being with regards to. I think it's the best thing to do at the time. There's no point in yelling and screaming. You got to go through a silence phase, because you got to control your emotion. And this has been a big awareness of how to actually control your emotion. But again, it's controlling the emotion and then letting it out when you need to, and how you do it. I know, and I'm still learning this, is how to control and speak upon those boundaries to people without, and this is a shadow thing, absolute shadow thing that I've had to deal with.
Yeah.
How to express yourself in a way, mate, I could go in like the Texas tornado and go, mate, I'll tell you right, it's basically, if I went in the old way, we're not talking again.
Well, my whole goal in life is to try to meet people at their level so that I can create the proper communication that they're going to be able to receive and then understand. And I challenge myself to try to do that with so many different personalities and people. And Jay, some people you do have to tell them straight up. They have zero awareness and they don't know. Honestly, some people do not, they have no forethought into how their actions affect other people, and they do have to be told. And I would, yes, take a moment to think about that person and how you can communicate effectively so it doesn't become something bigger. But sometimes those situations are unavoidable.
Well, when it comes down to it,
and thanks, sorry, I'm going to do a shout out too, because Holly down to the Earth Garden.
Oh, he's great.
Has been on since the beginning.
Awesome.
So thank you. We love you too.
You are awesome.
Love the Australians.
It's a case of,
honestly, as you're sitting there, Jay, it reminds me of my dad's house. And it's funny because you're in Australia and I'm in Canada, but that back house reminds me of like my dad's rooftop with the thing and the big tree in front. So I mean,
I have no idea where I'm just at a random park.
Crazy. I'm
at a crazy random park. But look, these chats, it's really nice, guys, when you've got people that, when we started this, it's more about, and it's more of expression of ourselves, that we've got this trust and this really beautiful safe space that we have, that we can talk about. And look, our goal in life is to become, do a talk show, mate, get us live together. Look out. When the day we get together and do a live show together, watch out. Watch it.
I know.
It's going to be out. But this is what we're looking to do. And I guess in a way, what we're talking about today is to give you an awareness of, look after yourself, be aware of what you're doing. It is a bit of a crazy time. Have a safe space you can talk to, even if it's online. Do that and understand you are worth something. You're not a punching bag. You've got boundaries to keep and you've got lessons to learn within yourself. So, and one thing I did say to someone yesterday, when you react, remember, and they always say, is it worth it? Number two, is it worth, what's the word I'm looking for? How's it going to affect you? It's all about you. Will affect me?
What's it taking from you?
And so there we go. I'm looking at yourself. This is what it affects me. This is how it affects me. So if you went and poked the bear and the bear swung, you blocked and you retaliated, or whatever it may be, or you retaliate in a way where it's going to be harmful to you, this is great awareness for yourself, guys. You have to remember, silence is great. They say in the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius and all those other guys that do it. Silence is great before you have to actually have a way to actually express yourself. Then you can't just go, you're a so-and-so. Yeah. Is that good? No, it's all ego, it's emotion. Okay, and emotions can play upon, especially cancers, ladies and gentlemen. All you cancers out there, hands in the air. We do a great job out here. Not just that, but I understand because I am one. But look at
I hear Cancer has an exciting year next year with the astrology. So
that's exactly what it is. Remember, how you respond will affect you. Don't worry about the other person. You can go and punch someone in the face. What's that going to do? Think about it. Think about it from yourself.
Karma for you.
Is it going to be nice? It's like having a chocolate bar. It's nice for 30 seconds. But what is it?
The karma of that
what is in the old one? It
affects you more than it would satisfy you.
There you go. Yeah. On that note, I'm going to make a choir move. Do you want to do the finish?
No, go. You go. You're right.
I love it. She's got a beautiful smile. She's got beautiful. Look. You go and look at some of our older start videos, right? Now, I think I'm where I'm supposed to be, like I'm the Earth Warrior, wherever it may be. Have a look at this lady. She's changed so much, spiritually and her aura, all right? I'll talk her up to the cows come home.
Well, I like to think a healthy mind equals a healthy body. So that is the key to youth, in my opinion.
Well,
that's what I'm convincing myself. So that I stay young forever.
We will. But just to say what's going on there, so you can see the way we try to emulate as a person. But get rid of that. But on that note, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to the people who put up with me 2 or 3 times. We did have technical issues, and my new mate in Nigeria,
Yes, thank you, Paul.
and my
He
other
stayed
new
with
mate,
us from the beginning.
Paul is brilliant, and my new mate from Nigeria is brilliant. So that's great. But remember, when you get up in the morning, guys, we always say our hero, Brett the Hitman Hart, there's your hat. I'm representing. Can't wait to go and meet him in August, in April, and tell him we do this. Get up in the morning, be the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, and be the best person that you can be, and be like my friend in Canada. She's awesome. Be like me.
Thanks, guys. Love and life.
Take care. Love yous. Take care.
Bye.
Peace out. And have a great day. We'll see you next week.
You too.
See you later.